So I just got home from work. I'm pretty tired. I know I look kind of beat, but I just want to talk about this really quick, right? Just to get it off my chest because I've been extremely excited. I've been watching the World Cup ever since I was like 10 years old or whatever it is. Let's just talk about 2026, right? So the group stages are finally done, right? And this is the part of the World Cup that I'm extremely excited for, right? We have almost in every single group the top two that made it to the group stage, or sorry, that made it out the group stage. Now we have the actual like competition going on, right? And this is where teams get serious because can no longer draw to get a win. You can no longer draw to pass the group stage, and you basically need a win to get to the next round, right? And now we're set with this: South Africa, Canada, Morocco, so on and so forth, right? And I just want to really quick disclaimer for this video. I just want to get my thoughts on the board on the video because I just want to talk about it. I have a very small group of people that watch football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. So this is just me making a video about it because I'm excited about it. Even if this video gets no views, I really don't care because I'm just enjoying this sport and I just want to talk about it, whether it has an audience or not. So let's just continue. So we have the bracket, right? I'm excited to see what teams play. Obviously, we have Norway that's probably going to get far. Portugal is probably going to get far. France, of course, going to get far. Argentina, so on and so forth, right? But this isn't exactly what I'm looking for in this team, right? Or in this tournament, right? I want to root for the countries that are extremely unexpected, like upsets. Give me something to root for. Give me an underdog story to root for, right? For example, Capo Verde did extremely well with their goalie time with I think it was Ecuador, was it? Sorry, Uruguay. They tied 2-2. They tied 0-0 with Spain, and then they also tied 0-0 with Saudi Arabia. I think this is a World Cup, yes. And for that, they ended up getting matched with Argentina. And I am legitimately so sad about this game because I think Argentina should win it easy. I'm a Messi fan growing up. I know that's probably going to cause a lot of controversy and a lot of debate in my comment section, but that's beside the point, right? I really do want Capo Verde to win. Even if, like I said earlier, I am a Messi fan, I really want to see this underdog win because they're one of the smallest countries that made it to the World Cup. They made it to the round of 32, and to see that reaction from them watching it live on TV, this is what I want to see from the World Cup. This underdog stories making it far. I really hope for an upset. It's going to be very difficult because they have a very stacked lineup, but we'll see what happens, right? Um, for this round of 32, I'm extremely excited for this game. Portugal ended up tying their very last game, and they ended up going against Croatia. This is going to be a great game because they're pretty evenly matched, I would say. I'm half Mexican, so obviously I have, of course, Mexican and Ecuador that I'm really excited for. And both, I would say, are pretty evenly matched. We have Ecuador that's known for really great defense. You have Mexico, who has, I would say, great offense, not the best defense, but in terms of like just Latin countries, I think this is the perfect matchup because it was very close to being Scotland, right? And I'm kind of glad it wasn't Scotland because I want to see teams that are fairly evenly matched, right? I don't want to see a full on blowout, like, let's say, for example, let me find one on the board that's probably going to be one. Let's just say England and Congo, right? I mean, chances are England's probably going to win it, obviously. We have, let's say, this one, of course, that should be an upset. I'm sorry, that should be Norway winning. Just teams like that where I know they're going to get far. France, for example, Germany, for example. I know they're going to get far. That's not what I'm talking about here, right? I want to root for the countries that, that have a chance, have a shot. And what makes the World Cup so exciting is that they're not just teams or clubs that you can just root for, right? Like you can support Real Madrid, you can support PSG. That's a team that's different. But this is the World Cup where it's nationalities, this is ethnicities, this is your roots. This is where you or have family from, or where you have descent from, whatever it might be, right? And this is why it's so different when a loss actually matters and you have ties to that specific country, right? Like me, for example, I'm born in the U.S., but I'm first generation here. My my backgrounds are Japanese and Mexican. I really want these two to make it far. I don't think they'll win, but I want them to make it far. So, like I said earlier, we have Mexico and Ecuador, two evenly matched teams. I'm so glad it ended up this way. And then we have probably my most exciting match, probably the best matchup in this entire like run, right? In this entire round of 32, Brazil and Japan. It's scary. I wish it wasn't Brazil because I really loved watching Brazil when I was younger. I wish it wasn't that. Um, Japan is a really interesting team because they have a lot of injured players, but without those players, they still were managed to have a tie with Netherlands, which is really good. Managed to play for a tie with Sweden just so they could make an easier way to the bracket. Because if they won this group, I believe they would have played France. I could be wrong, or Morocco, whatever it might be. But still, at least they made it slightly easier, right? And I think the loss would have been France, if I or whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's beside the point, right? So then we have Brazil. I'm excited for this one. I think Brazil is gonna win it, but me being half Japanese, I'm rooting for Japan. I think it's gonna be great, an underdog story, and if they can pull an upset, this might be the team to look out for. Because again, they're down their best players, and I think with what they have now, we've seen some very incredible stuff going on. And out of all the Asian countries, I think this is probably the one where has improved the most in terms of like football going on in that country. So I don't know. I'm excited. So we'll see what happens. And then let's just go on to the eliminations, right? We have, of course, South Korea that ended up getting eliminated. All South Korea had to do is win against South Africa in the very last game they had. All you have to do is win against South Africa. And what did they do? They lost 1-0, like you said. It's like you're seeing right here, right? Not just that, it's the fact that because of the ranking for the World Cup, they had to rely on other countries, right, to win it. To either win it, draw, specific circumstances had to happen in order for South Korea to make it in. That's the worst result to be in because you shouldn't have to rely on other countries. When you had an easy way out just to beat South Africa, that was all you needed to do. Instead, you had this weird route of like one country winning, one drawing, one specific outcome happening. When you have to rely on other countries, that's where everything is just thrown out the window, right? And I really wanted this. I wanted to root for South Korea so badly, I really did, because everything that you see here in this lineup was great, right? The midfield was great, was the forwards were great, the goalkeeper was great. They had a good team around them. I'm not saying they're gonna win it, but I'm saying they had a good team around them. And the fact that chances are you won't have, Song Hyun-min, which is probably their legendary player, right? He won a trophy for Tottenham, right? Like, come on, bro. And then the very last game for South Africa, they ended up benching him. I think he goes in the here it is the 45-minute round. Why? What was the decision there? I don't get it. Like I don't know. I was watching this game and I was shocked because there's so many decisions that happen that just why why was this the case? You could have easily won this if you beat South Africa, but it's almost like they played like they didn't want to win. Again, you bench your best players. You chances are you won't have these players in the next 4 years. Like yes, Sonny is only like 33 years old if I remember top of my head, but I mean, I don't think he's gonna have the longevity as like Ronaldo, Messi, stuff like that, right? I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just my personal opinion, right? But again, he won a trophy for a club, and the fact that we had that peak of watching Tottenham with Harry Kane and Sonny playing in the same team, like they have potentials. They're pretty much great for your country. Why not start them? Anyway, that's besides the point. I'm just frustrated about Korea's run. Keep Verde, I did talk about that. I want to root for this team so badly. I, dude, it's unfortunate that they got Argentina out of all the countries, but that's beside the point, right? And then you of course have the final bracket. It's too bright, so we're gonna have to switch it away. But that's beside the point, right? Anyway, this is a quick little video. I might just not edit this at all. I might cut this up because it's 1 in the morning. I just got back from work. I just wanted to talk about sports and the World Cup because it's something that I've been watching ever since I was 10 years old. It's been great. It's been an absolute incredible journey. I unfortunately am not that wealthy to be able to attend these games, but it's okay. Maybe 2030 is the shot, right? Who knows? But I've been having a great time. Thanks so much for watching. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading that often because again the World Cup's on. I'm gonna try my best during this time period to upload some more videos involving the World Cup, ranking songs, ranking who I think are the top 10 in my opinion. Just little things like that, right? I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's all I have. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace, peace.